Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 and I'm back at it with another video for you guys. And man, I am so glad to do this again. And that is giving a One Piece anime episode review for you guys. Now I know I'm pretty late on this, like I'm uploading this on Sunday. I was kind of busy last night, so I couldn't upload the video last night, but now that there's nothing really going on Saturdays, um other than new animes, stuff like that, expect to get One Piece reviews every Saturday night. But it was great to see One Piece. Also, new thing is, if you didn't know, obviously you see in the back, I have my own Straw Hat flag from the last time I did a One Piece anime review. So yeah, it's totally been a long time. Like the last time we got a One Piece episode was, I think, in April, early May. That was a long time. And man, it's so good to have the anime finally return. And hopefully we won't have to go on any more hiatuses anytime soon, barring if Japan goes into another state of emergency. Hopefully they won't be like how we are in the America when it comes to the pandemic. But hopefully, hopefully, things start running again, and yeah, we're able to get more weekly, anime reviews for One Piece, which I've been dying to wait. So yeah, so this episode very much was just kind of the introduction to Queen the Plague, if anything. So yeah, now my thoughts on this episode. It was again cool to see One Piece again. When I first loaded up the episode, I was already jamming and singing out to Over the Top, like I always do every freaking week, because that song is actually legit greatness. Um, Funny thing is, I was actually getting in and out watching it because the lines were long, and yeah. Now this episode I thought was an okay episode. For its return, it was really, you know, near the tail end. That's when we kind of got interesting new stuff in terms of anime only. So obviously, manga readers know what to expect. But in terms of this episode was okay and meh. It's your opinion on what you want to think, but I can see most people saying this episode was bad for a return episode. Um, Mostly because they reused for the first 5 minutes. They did an entire recap of what was on the last episode, and then they did reshots of the same shots of Luffy looking down at the Scorpion Devil Fruit user dude, in Kaido's crew at Udon, over and over and over again, to the point I was starting to get even a little bit annoyed. Like I got a little bit annoyed at the fact that, like, okay, why are they reusing the same shots of Luffy looking down at the guy he just knocked out? Like, why? What? Like, there was a shot, there was a close-up shot of him, there was overhead shots of it, and it's like, bro, Toei, I listen. I don't critique a lot of things Toei does, and I don't really talk about issues with stuff like that. But I'm sorry, I was like, why are we getting the same overhead and same close-up shots of Luffy looking down, giving this really badass evil smile? He was doing the entire episode. Just from the standpoint of him just looking down, I'm like, dude, there was like at least like 5 or 6 shots of just him looking down at that. I'm like, okay, it's okay. Can we get some new stuff, please? Now the new stuff we did get is but before Luffy knocks out the Scorpion guy, the things we get is Old Man Hiyu. Um, he essentially talks about there was an era in the past where there was a lot of samurais, and essentially it was, you could say, much more honorable era at that time. But until Kaido's men obviously came in and essentially, took over Wano, or along with Orochi too. You know, and then he says, like, yeah, your men, which is Kaido's men, killed all those samurais that were honorable and everything. He's like, You know, at this point, I might as well die. Just kill me because there's no point. And at the same time, he was talking about how Luffy was like reminds him of that era of the fact that there was like honor and respect and common decency and stuff like that. Because we all know Luffy gave the old man Hiyu those tickets to get more of those essentially little dumpling things to eat and stuff like that. And then that's when Luffy cuts in and he kind of beats the guy up. Albeit he's doing this with Sea Prism stones on his freaking wrist, and it is pretty crazy. So yeah, we do cut over to a little bit of what the Big Mom, Otama, Chopper, and Momonosuke are doing, and stuff like that, along with Kiku. And essentially, I forgot who they're calling or they're talking to, but they said like they're gonna break out, Luffy essentially and stuff like that. And it's kind of like a recap of the fact that Big Mom's like, oh, Mama, I'm hungry, and stuff like that. So obviously that's going on. I'm not King. Queen is also on his way to the prison, and when he gets there, he's like, "What's the deal with all this ruckus going on and stuff like that?" So yeah. Now, also in the meantime, behind the scenes, Raizo is, being sneaky Raizo. He actually, kind of tricks these guards into thinking that the keys to the cells have been, unlocked, have been stolen, and essentially he tries to put them back in with the other guards, and he kind of plays the other guards. He gets the keys, to obviously the Sea Prism stone cuffs and stuff like that, and he escapes, and yeah. We get, we see he beats up a crab. I'm guessing a crab devil fruit user. There's also this monkey devil fruit user called Solitaire. Has a pretty interesting design and stuff like that. And then we also get introduced to the warden. I forgot his name. In the episode. I didn't make any notes for this video. I'm kind of doing this mostly on top of my head. But we get introduced to the warden who looks like he's an elephant, smile devil fruit user and stuff like that. He does get involved with Luffy, and Luffy charges in, and Luffy says like he's doing this for his training. Essentially, obviously, he's doing this to get stronger to attempt to re-challenge Kaido again. So Luffy charges in. He gets like cannonballs, and Luffy makes a comment saying, "If only I could use my haki." Now, at first when I was watching this, I'm like, wait, can't Luffy just use his haki even though he doesn't have access to his Devil Fruit powers? But I'm guessing when you're a Devil Fruit user or you've seen Prism Stones on you, I'm guessing you can't access your haki as quite as good if you weren't on Sea Prism Cone stuffs. So and that answered my question. I was like, okay. I'm like, why? I'm thinking, okay, he can't access his Devil Fruit powers, and he may be significantly weaker because of Sea Prism Stones, but can he just access his haki abilities? And I'm guessing he couldn't because of the Sea Prism Stone cuffs. And the next thing you know, King enters into the Udon prison, and essentially, he does this interesting like concert vibe thing, and he's just dancing and stuff like that. Now, before that, he's looking at an image of Kumurasaki, and when he leaves to go do his little performance, to the other beast pirates, there's the two beast pirates are telling him like, yo, should we tell him like that Kumurasaki is dead? And now, I don't believe Kumurasaki is dead. I think they're faking I think she's faking her death somehow so she doesn't have to be around Orochi or something. It's gonna be something. I don't believe she's all entirely dead because it's One Piece. Like we've had so many characters apparently dead, unless we actually, sometimes physically see that they like are dead, and they like, are passed out and they're gone. No, nothing. It's like okay, now you can say what Kumurasaki. They showed that on Kumurasaki, but I just have a feeling that it's gonna be like a Pell thing. We think she's dead, but in reality, she's gonna come back and she's still gonna be alive. Now, what I'm gonna say is when Queen finds that out, she's gonna be pissed, like the freaking guard said. So some more information we get on Queen is, he has about a 1.32 not million billion berry bounty. So that's much more than the 1.5 billion berry bounty that Luffy has. So yeah, and then the last few minutes of the episode was the warden kind of running down what the hell's been going on in the prison. And the first thing he says, like, "Oh yeah, Captain Kidd, yeah, he escaped." And then what I found funny, like you'll see in the thumbnail of this video, you see the crazy queen, face where she's like, where he's like, "Huh?" and stuff like that. And then the next thing runs down, the warden runs down, is like, "So yeah, the Sea Prism Stone Cups has been taken down," and he's like, "Ah!" And then the last thing is like, "Oh yeah," and then Stray Hat Luffy's is currently right now escaping. He's climbing, he's trying to get up out of here. And then he's like, "Ah!" He's like, "Then what are you guys doing standing around? Stop him!" Which I found hilarious because I'm like, yeah, I'm like, Queen's right. I'm like, why are you guys talking to him when you should be go stopping the prisoner escape? Which I found funny. And then, that's when the episode ends off with Luffy scaling the Udon prison and trying to climb up out of there. So yeah, and then the next week's episode, it seems like we're going to get Nami and Robin bath scene. I'm down to get a Robin bath scene. I'm a Robin fanboy. We see it seems like Luffy's gonna do some kind of thing that Queen, I guess, is gonna challenge him to. And it seems like he's also got a Sea Prism Stone Cups off. So it seems like he'll be able to use well, who knows? Maybe that thing around his neck is actually, more Sea Prism Stone stuff. So yeah, and then we also see that one character in the dark in that one cell. So yeah, that's where the episode ends. Overall, this episode was okay. Other than the reused animation shots, with Luffy looking down at the one guy, it was a pretty fairly decent episode. Nothing else to talk about. It wasn't as good as I thought, the anime episode would do coming back. I guess I can understand why for the first 5 minutes they had to do like a 5 minute recap, but at the same time, like on the YouTube page for like I think Toei Animation USA, they had a legit whole recap of the entire Wano arc to where they're currently at before this episode even aired. So I don't know why they could have given us more things in that and stuff like that, but who knows? We'll just have to wait till next week to see, more new stuff. It seems like next week there's definitely gonna be like much more newer content than we got instead of looking at, a thing. I will. Only thing is, if you're a fan of Nami and Robin, you will probably more than likely be looking forward to that one bath scene. But apparently, I heard after watching another review that bath scene is kind of controversial. So yeah, I'll have to see what people say it's so controversial about. So I can't wait for next week of One Piece and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm happy that One Piece is coming back, or I'm happy not coming back. I'm happy that One Piece is back, and there's a bunch more anime that are coming out that I will review. Like for example, Fire Force is coming out soon in the next couple of days. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next video. Hopefully, you guys are staying safe out there. Peace.